Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Studio Time with Ryos. Folks, check this out. Your boy's a married man now. That's why there's been a little bit of a delay with all the uploads between all the wedding prep, getting married, going on the honeymoon, and then coming back and having to finish a bunch of IDs and meet some deadlines. Your boy's been a little busy, to say the least, but we're back in the studio now. Today, I want to try some new progressive house ideas, maybe remix the new Martin Garrix track. I'm not entirely sure yet. We're going to see where the session takes us, but let's just have some fun. Let's get right into it. All right, guys. So for today, let's make some progressive house. I will say this, like I alluded to in the intro, I've been finishing so much music. Haven't really been making a lot of fresh ideas, so I feel like I need to get back into the groove of actually creating something and not finishing. So for that, I'm going to use a melody that I've made before and see if that can trigger some inspiration. So this is something that I like to do. I like to make a bunch of melodies and then kind of store them for later use. Some of them here actually have been, released in tracks. Like I think one of them was Sacred Times. And then one of them was my Midsummer Nights VIP mix. But anyway, I digress. Let's see if there's any melodies that we can use as a source of inspiration. There's a few, like especially these latter ones, I think could be pretty sick for a progressive house track. And as I pull these up, like I also alluded to, I might want to remix the new Martin Garrix track. It's so sick, and I saw on Instagram that he's looking for remixes, so I'm like, shit, might as well shoot my shot. But let's see if any of these melodies are fire. This one's been stuck in my head, I'm not gonna lie. Let's check this one too. Intro chords, okay. Okay, so we've got two solid options. I find these both pretty inspiring. So obviously we should use a lead stack that is like a part of my signature sound. And I think if we're going to go for the classic sounding progressive house, we should definitely use a lead stack that I've made before to try to keep it sounding like me a bit. So either Fading Away or White Horses. I think we're going to try White Horses only because it's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more classic. But maybe, we can mix and match. Something that I really liked about Fading Away was the plucky layer, which by the way, I didn't even plug, but Fading Away came out, as you guys may have saw. I didn't do a Studio Time with Ryos episode like before or after the song was coming out. So I never got to like talk about it. But yeah, Fading Away's out. Really excited about that one. I'm actually so proud of that one too. That one sounds like, I don't know, just from top to bottom, the sound design, the songwriting and melodies, everything. Really, really love that one. But anywho, even though I'm gassing up Fading Away, we are going to try the White Horses lead stack first. And this is always like the kind of annoying thing, if you will. I wish that, and you know what? Everyone that uses Ableton is going to come at me right now. Fine. You guys got it. But I was going to say, I wish that when I brought in presets, it like brought in all the processing too. And I know Ableton does it. You guys, like I said, you got it. But in the meantime, let me just pull up all the individual processing here. Okay. So I've just pulled up the Fading Away lead stack and the White Horses lead stack. Now, let's try the melodies on there. And let's see how it sounds. Told you so. All right, now let's try the Fading Away one. Told you so. Well, let's turn off the side chain, bring it down an octave. Told you so. I think a hybrid between the two would be dope. Particularly, I really like the guitar layer, and I like this extra lead. So I wonder if we combine that. Oh, my computer's not happy. No way. Let me try increasing the buffer length. Okay, so this is obviously a struggle with my computer on the verge of blowing up. Which, by the way, if you guys didn't see my Instagram story, I am switching to a Mac. I've had enough of this. But anywho, I think a hybrid between the two would be dope. Like I said, particularly, I really love the transient layer, or I called it extra lead and then the guitar lead. So let's mute this, let's mute this, let's mute this. I'm just trying to figure out what leads we can mute. We could probably mute this one. Wow, this is so annoying. So here's the final offer. We're on Deal or No Deal. I'm getting rid of the EDM layer, I'm getting rid of the warm layer, I'm getting rid of the arena lead, getting rid of the vintage layer, or vintage lead. And then what I'm going to have to do right now is I'm going to bounce... Oh, but I don't know what melody I want to do. It's okay. For right now, I like this melody, so... do I? I hate bouncing things into audio sometimes because I don't want to commit. I have commitment issues. No, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, I'm going to have to bounce things into audio because, yeah, I think between filming... I'm using FL Studio's ASIO card right now, not my UAD, because that's just how I have to film. And whenever I do that, it, like, my computer just can't handle as much plugins and stuff as normal. So, with that being said, we got to bounce things into audio. Let's do that now. You know what I'm going to do, actually, even better? I'm just going to literally... I'm going to fix the ending real quick because I didn't like the ending. And I'm going to just bounce them all into one big lead for right now. Just so that I can create. Because it's all about the idea, you know? If I wind up pursuing this idea and it works out, I can always go back and bounce everything individually so that I can tweak it. But like right now, there's no point on going crazy if this idea winds up sucking. So let's just quickly bounce this into audio. And then we'll go from there. Let me fix the ending first, too. Yeah, that note's wrong. Okay, yeah, it's good enough. All right, so let's go ahead and consolidate. Oh my goodness. See, now because these leads sound so good, I am curious to try the other melody as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to put the melody, the first melody, I think it was called Bamo. I'm going to put it on the individual layers. I'll render it out, and I'm going to cut all of that out so that we can just skip to the good stuff. You guys don't have to deal with all the intricacies again. So everything has been bounced out. I also, for that one melody, I had a version that was a little bit faster, which I'll show you in a second. So I just made sure to bounce out both versions. Now we can turn these off. And we can just group them like this. And then now this can be our like rough melody ideas plus sounds. So let's see what this all sounds like.
I told you so.
And then the other thing is I need to just quickly copy the chords over. Oh, I have them. Let me just get rid of the melody. Okay. Let's try the faster one.
I'd say I told you so.
Oh, ending got messed up again. But damn, both of these are solid.
Hey, I told you so.
Okay, so guys, here's what we're gonna do. This is a good problem to have. Usually, it doesn't pan out like this. Usually, I'm like struggling trying to find one good idea, but I think all three of these are solid. So, what's gonna be the deciding factor is the drop, because some melodies like work better in drops than other melodies. So, we're gonna just start by making a drop, and we're gonna see out of these three melodies like which one just sounds the best. Because I think all of them fit the vocal pretty well. I think the chords, both versions of the chords fit the vocal well. So, yeah, I'm stoked about all of these ideas. Let's go ahead. Let's get some drums in first. Let's go. Oh, I hate when I don't have room. Let's go all the way over here. Fine. Fine, I'll concede. Yeah, that melody's definitely stuck in my head. Hey. Okay. So we got our kick in, and then let's copy over the melody ideas. I don't know if I'm even going to bother with the slower version. Let me see. Actually. Da-na-na-na-na. Damn, they're both sick. Okay. Anyway, we're going to just start, like I said, by copying over all the different melodies here, making sure they're all linked. And now we got to think about like basses and chords and all of that stuff. And I would say for this genre, or like for this style, the classic style progressive house, I would say the synths definitely are more important. We want to get beautiful, atmospheric, those kinds of sounds. So let's see what we got here. We could do... This is a nice, beautiful sound. Just pitching this atmosphere to F sharp. Yeah, sick. Okay. Now for the chords, what shall we do? I really thought the chords that I used in Fading Away were super sick. Specifically these flanger chords. I thought these were so dope. So naturally, we'll go ahead and try it. Let's go. All right. Now, for the bass. Let's go for the drive bass. I have a few drive basses. I call them drive basses, but they're just like the screaming kind of roar basses. I have this one that I use in Jungle, and then I have the one that originated from, I think, Memory. Maybe even past Memory. I don't know. But let's just go ahead. Get some of these sounds in. Yeah, we'll see you later. Bouncy bass. We're going to go the driving route. Very, very nice. All right, let's get a sub in, and then we're going to need a bass to kind of occupy the, I call it 100 bass. A bass that occupies around 100 hertz, kind of like the upper part of the bass. Normally because I like to keep my sub kind of clean nowadays. So let's see. And this is too low. Let's bring this up an octave. Yo, this is nasty. Oh my god. All right. So sick. Sub is in, and then I just mentioned that 100 bass. Something that's just going to occupy that, like, warm region. Something to make the bass warm. I like to do bass guitars sometimes, so maybe we'll just try that briefly. I don't know, actually. Let me see. All right. Really loving this direction. I think the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go for like a synthy layer. I like to call them. Basically just kind of getting a chord sound that more or less is a basic kind of fuzzy chord, basic saw sound. I like to use, yeah, something like this. Let's see. Just as a layer to add more of like that driving factor. Let's go here. The thing that I'm considering most right now is what is going to be the rhythmic thing in my drop? What's going to be the thing that really drives this thing forward? I like it to be the bass a lot of times, but right now, obviously, it's very like sustained and standard and not really moving all that much. It's kind of just acting as like a wall. So that leads me to believe that I should probably make the rhythm happen more so with the drums, which that's what drums are for, right? What I'm thinking is after I get these drums in right now, depending on how things pan out, I might go back to the bass and I might make it rhythmic where it like counteracts the lead melody rhythm. But one thing at a time, let's go ahead. Let's of course get in, you know, a noise ride. We're going to need that. Where's my perfect prog ride? Whoops. Okay, perfect prog ride. Maybe we'll try this too, why not? I'm just quickly trying this too because I saw it and I do love this sample. Could be another nice layer to add that driving or like, you know, solid wall factor. Smiling, because that's such a weird way to describe it. Solid wall factor. I want that wall of sound. I don't think it's going to work. It sounds like it's clashing too much with the chords. Maybe I can add a layer down the road that's like this, and then I can actually follow the chord progression. But for now, let's go back to doing the drums. Clap fills. This is fresh and new. So just looking for some good drum fills right now to use throughout the drop, kind of sprinkle in as ear candy. Love this one. That would be better for the ending though. Ooh, maybe I'll use those. White Horse's drop clap. I'm hearing like a screw kind of sound right here. Screw. Do I have a sound that goes screw? This does not, but maybe. Maybe it'll work. Fill that gap. It does kind of work. Personally, I don't want to overdo clap fills because I think it could start to sound a little weird, but I do have a screw sound. If I take out all of these additional snares and I just kind of go like... This is definitely going to stay. This is likely going to stay. This I'm not sure about yet. But these like kind of fills and like ear candy, if you will. It's not at the top of my list. So as long as I get in the rough kind of idea, that should be more than enough. For now, I'm going to switch back over to focusing more on like the main drum sounds. So particularly, there's two things I want to get in. I want to get in like a... Basically... I call them pacer hats, but basically a hi-hat, closed hat that's playing a really fast rhythm. Either 16th notes straight or sometimes like a galloping rhythm could be cool. And then I also want to do a technique I love to do, which is to use a clap and then follow the lead melody rhythm. Which I did that in White Horses and Unbreakable, and I just always love how it comes out. So I'm going to do that again. I'm a big fan of how the White Horses drums came out, so I'm just going to pull in... pretty much all of the kind of drum sounds. Cool. So let's just mute all of these, and then I'm going to pull up. Let's do the acoustic hats, the follow hat, drop clap. And what are the clicks? Oh, I love the clicks. We're keeping that too. I use these in almost every track now. All the acoustic hats. Okay, let's start here. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, I really love these kind of open hat throws, but I need to get them to work better with my melody now. Obviously, for White Horses, it worked in this pattern, but This ain't White Horses. The clicks also are good, but they were a little too abrasive right now. I'm going to go ahead and mute them for now. Let's get that pacer clap in. This is going to be basically a clap sound that follows the melody. So I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this melody basically just plays the same rhythm. So it should be as easy as copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, next, let's figure out what we're going to do with the acoustic hats. Let's bring back the melody. Okay, definitely don't open up here. I'm going to also mute the pacer clap for now. And then what I'm going to do on the White Horses clap, I'm going to add a sidechain. Just try to create a little bit more space for the transient of the kick. Love, love, love. Okay, so we're figuring things out, folks. The next thing that I'm going to do that I definitely know I'm going to want is a, like, crash on the downbeat. Yeah, this should work just fine. Let's experiment with another downlift or two here. So the way I look at it, this is like the main crash, right? This is adding a little bit more sustained high-end energy. And then I want to add a big clap effect. That will give it that kind of sound. Or we could use an exhaust as well. Maybe we'll just try this first, make it easy. Now the next thing that I'm thinking is just revisiting the bass. So the jungle drive bass is sick, don't get me wrong. But I'd be curious just to see what a different drive bass would sound like, because I kind of want one that isn't as fat and is like more in the upper mids to leave more room for the leads, because it does sound like it could use that. If that's a good enough reason. Let's check that out real quick. So what I'd like to do is use let's use the Memories Remix drive bass, because this is a pretty like classic sounding progressive house track. And I'm pretty sure I used this same exact bass stack in White Horses, so go figure. I'm also considering the kick choice. I think this kick has too much like talk. Too much of this. Actually, it's got too much like boxiness to it for this drop idea. I'm definitely hearing that melody go up too. That means, see, this is why I don't like having things in audio. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time, because now I have to go back and change it and then bounce it out again. Whatever. I mean, this is sounding really good. I don't want to overcook it. So what I'm missing in particular is something to give it like more bounce and more rhythm, like the pacer clap idea, or a top loop. So something that will give it like a little bit of a shuffle, just more like a driving factor. So let's go ahead and try this guy. Just add a little bit more flavor. And then I would love to hear like a percussion. Shorten this maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I need. We got to work on this sound more. It needs to have more of like a metal hit sound. Oh, we're so close. See what I mean? Now we got a little bit of bounce going. That's what I'm talking about. If we were to go back to the synths now, let's just review what we have. I think I need to add like a dreamy pad in as well. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and do that. This is the type of stuff your boy likes. I love a little wooziness to the chords. However, I don't need any of these low mids. This is just like a texture thing. It might be a little too woozy, but let's see. Wow, the woozy chords actually sound so good. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, so super happy with how the drop sounds. Now let's think about the break in the build. Right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm definitely not making a break. It's just not happening today. Sorry. I might make a build up, at least something, just to roughly get an idea of how it'll sound. But I usually like splitting up those sessions. Anyway, the vocal.
One and only chance. I got them in my body, something that's in my soul.
Like, just roughly speaking right now, what if I... Where's my drop leads? Here. So roughly speaking, what if I just pull up Simplon? Yeah, so watch. We'll go like this, take this, put this here. So like my immediate thing is, because of the way the vocal is, I think that I wouldn't put the vocal in the build-up. And I would have the vocal finish and then do a build-up, I think. So if we go that route, this would end. Melody comes in. And then obviously the drop comes. So let's start opening up this filter. And actually, you know what? The vocal might sound good in the build up. I'm not sure about that yet. I have to think. Let's still just roughly kind of do what I know I'm going to want to do. Wash out these leads in the build a little bit. And I'm definitely hearing this kind of right before the drop. So I think in theory what I'd want to do is take this kind of vocal delay and then turn it into a riser / like a build element.
Don't wanna hear my heart say I told you so.
Yeah, that fits really, really well. And then, roughly speaking, we've got a little bit of a sketch going. What we can do for the synths is definitely use this guy for sure. Got a nice dreamy vibe going. Obviously, I don't have a break. So for example, this piano, not sure if it's gonna stay. I kind of just pulled it up as a means to check out melodies, but since it's here for now, I will high pass it, get it to be more a part of the build-up, and then same for like the atmosphere bed. Maybe this will have a place in the build. The woozy chords. The flanger chords should definitely have a place here. Now, I'm debating whether I should sidechain them or if I should let them kind of float. That is going to depend on how I do my drums. So let's quickly get some build drums going. And I am debating whether I want to go for like the big boom, 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 like big EDM snare, or if I want to go for a little bit of a smoother style build-up. So I think to start, I am going to go for a build-up style like I use in Novocaine and In My Bones, where I use a fairly light snare with a fast rhythm. And let's just see how this sounds. So I really like this snare here, so I'm going to quickly try the other build elements that I used in My Bones. And these definitely need to continue here, which is slightly annoying because I have to go in manually and then redo everything. Whatever. All good in the hood. Okay, next, the bass. I'm a sucker for a nice mean milled bass? Build bass. Let's get these guys in there. Like this. Oh, maybe we will do the sub actually. So I'm happy with this curve, kind of chopping off the sub a little bit, because I don't want the buildup to have as much sub as the drop. This is gonna high pass. The low pass filter is opening up. I'm gonna also just turn on Simplon in the buildup, but I'm gonna turn it off in the drop just to make sure there's no weird side effects happening. But the bass sounds really nice in the build. I'm also curious to try a kind of typical build snare, a more progressive house kind. I want to see how this sounds. That does sound really good. I want to get in the pre-drop fill. That'll help me too. I'm gonna use like pretty much the same ones I always use. The big snare does sound, I think, even better than I anticipated. So that's going to stay. Typically, what I like to do when I'm using these big snares is I like to layer them with kicks. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to layer... I think this is a really good one. Yeah, because it goes all the way through. And it's 120 BPM. Because I don't like the way a kick sounds being pitched up and it's time stretched. which is why the In My Bones kick was like giving me a little bad vibes. But this should be a lot better. So we're going to go back on this idea. I don't like it anymore because this kind of acted almost as like a main snare in My Bones. Obviously right now we're going to opt for this one instead. So the idea of having like this fast snare in the background is definitely valid. That's just not the right fill. So didn't mean to click that. If we go to my long fills folder, I got the light fills. And this is pretty much what I'm looking to add right now. This is so dope. Let's go. I'm like so locked in, and then for a second I'm like listening to this as a listener, and I'm really digging this. All right. Whoosah. Let's lock in. Let's finish this idea. Long sweeps. Can never go wrong with this one. And then now, if I'm going to go this route, let's take away this stuff. Oh, stop playing, Widow. All right, guys, I'm done. I'm done for right now. This is sounding so good. Let's take a listen from the top, and let's see what I came up with.
Don't wanna hear my heart say I told you so.
Yo, what a way to come back to studio time with Ryos. Oh my God. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully something can happen with this. Worst case scenario, I turn this into an original or something because the melody is so strong. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Studio Time with Ryos. If you did enjoy this episode, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I upload. As always, guys, be sure to check out my Patreon. We got monthly sample packs, lessons, feedback, much more. Link for that will be down below in the description. So that'll be all for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.